we go. This is the Oz report for February 8th, 2021. And today we're going to start with that new Guardians Gala event that's coming out. Just like the Winter Nexus event, where we had a lot of the True Sancha faction modules drop. In the new event, we're going to see a lot of Domination and Shadow Serpentis modules dropping. So this is not an action for you to take now. This is just an action for you to take as you see the drop rates increasing and thereby prices falling. What I have done here is I have picked some of the Domination and Shadow Serpentis modules that have the highest volume in game. So some of them don't have a high daily volume, so you don't really want to trade in them because you might be able to buy them, but then you won't be able to get rid of them. So make sure you're looking at actual markets that are moving. You can use atomforeve.eu to do that. That's where I typically look at market volumes, or you can build that into your own spreadsheet if you're doing that. We've recently been discussing some of those solutions on our Discord server, so stop by there if you're looking to incorporate the volume data in your spreadsheet. The modules that are popular on the Domination side are the Gyro Stabilizer, for example, the Multi-Spectrum Shield Hardener, the Stasis Webifier, although the Stasis Webifier might also be benefiting from the new event. Although probably not, because if it's like last time, they're not allowing faction events, so scratch that. Tracking enhancers, the Domination Tracking Enhancer, the Warp Disruptor, and the Warp Scrambler. So what you're going to be looking for is on these Domination and Shadow Serpentis modules, look for them to drop in price. If you are risk averse, then wait for them to turn around, because at some point they're going to turn around, because investors like me are going to start buying them up because they're trading low enough. And then you buy them. It's very similar to the previous events items. If you want to look at what the effect is going to be, then look at True Sancha items during the Winter Nexus event in December. Or the Decrypters. On the Shadow Serpentis sides, we're talking Shadow Serpentis Damage Control, Inertial Stabilizers, Magnetic Field Stabilizer, Stasis Webifier, and Tracking Computer. These are the top 5 on the Shadow Serpentis side. Interestingly enough, we've already seen them drop in price a lot, so they are very low. So kind of it's going to be interesting whether they go completely off the cliff, or whether you will see some of them just bottoming out as they are right now, and then hopefully coming back at a later time. So on a Domination, it's much more simpler, that trajectory. On the Shadow Serpentis, you've got to be careful because they're already trading low. Let me talk really quick about the attainment and augmentation decryptor. So it looks like from what we see on HoboLeaks, it looks like there might be hacking sites in this event as well. That would be unlike the Guardians Gala as it was last year. So possibly this is happening. So attainment and augmentation decryptors, two of the more popular decryptors, they had dropped all the way down from around 1.2 million, the augmentation decryptors 1.2 million, to about half that, and then they've been climbing back up as we have exited the event. And the attainment decryptors, similarly, they dropped down from more around the 2.6 to more around the 1.9 million range, and then they had been slowly climbing back up. If we indeed see data sites out there and we see these dropping, then two things for you. A, if you're still holding a stockpile, it's probably too late to sell them now, especially when people will be hearing this. They might be panic selling, but don't worry about it. Hold on to them. The event will pass over, and then after the next event, hopefully you'll be able to sell them. You can see that on the decryptors, the volume has already returned kind of to normal. So these are not crazy stockpiles out there. They just need a little bit of time to have the markets recover. Now, let's talk Moongoo, right? There are 5 Moongoo items that I have been trading in that I wanted to mention because in the past Oz reports I've been talking about the rally that Moongoo went through, and kind of the stop that happened and the drop that came after. What we're seeing is we're seeing it level out, right? So this was not a short-term rally. This was a market correction to previous prices. You can see that on hafnium, neodymium, same thing. It's a price correction to previous prices. Promethium, exactly the same. Thulium, a little bit slower. I mentioned this specifically because on thulium you can actually still get some decent prices in. You can see here, you know, there's one person buying at 27, but very small amounts. At 25,000, you can get in here, and that would actually be a fantastic buy price. And so, you know, if you can get those, definitely do that. And tungsten, similarly, it's also still trading quite low. I do expect an upward trend there. So if you can buy these at 5.3, I have been, then you can probably get a good deal there as well. On the other ones, all I'm saying is that these have kind of leveled out and they're not dropping back down. They're kind of leveling out here. So if you're waiting for this to drop back down to get a good opportunity, I don't think they're going to anytime soon. But that's just basically just based on my my trading experience, and on the fact that the reason Moongoo was trading so low anyway was because that was the last, you know, profitable or at least quite profitable mining bastion out there in a lot of nullsec. So you were seeing this market being flooded with extra Moongoo. And you know, just little changes in either playstyle or you know, we did see one little correction in nullsec minerals spawns had an effect on the market and brought it back to here. So you know, basically just a technical analysis of this. I don't think it's going to get any worse, so I don't think Moongoo mining is going to be going up excessively again. On the contrary, once the scarcity phase ends, it's going to be going down quite significantly, and if you have a few stockpiles of these, then it's certainly not going to hurt. Let me talk about PI. You know, the story around PI, similarly to Moongoo, everyone and their mother is doing PI because a lot of other parts of EVE are not valuable. We've said that a few times out here. Plus, structures are not out there in space anymore in large numbers because of the quantum core update. At least small organizations are having trouble keeping their structures up and defending them, and therefore the demand for a lot of these items is going down. Broadcast nodes, however, they had quite a nice rally going on. I've made a lot of money trading broadcast nodes lately, and somebody actually has dumped quite a large amount onto the buy orders and made it drop a lot. So right now you can buy them again at 1 million. You can see 1 million is a very good buy price on broadcast nodes. So you know, broadcast nodes are one example. There are some others out there that I don't want to name so that I don't ruin every single market out of there. But you know, this basically just a hint. Go out there, look for PI, look for stuff that's dropping all the way back down to the previous support, like the broadcast nodes have, and you can make some good deals because this is a pretty good support right here on 1 million on broadcast nodes. All right, let's talk ships. So on ships, we have on Friday, we have a 2v2 tier 1 cruiser abyssal proving ground event coming up that's going to last for a few days. Now, the knowledge of that has been out for a few days, so this you're not going to take the market by a huge surprise. But make sure if you're trading in these tier 1 cruisers or you're making them, that you're aware that this is happening. I know sometimes it's hard to keep track of everything, that's why I'm mentioning it here. Some of the more popular cruisers from the last cruiser event, the Caracal, the Omen, the Stabber, the Thorax, and the Vexor, they're all trading quite high anyway because mineral prices are high. So tier 1 hulls are expensive right now because of the mineral shortage. And so some of these you might see spike. I don't think you're going to get rich of most of these. So in my experience from trying to capitalize from the last proving ground events, what you see is a pretty sharp increase on day -1 and day 0 and day 1. And then very quickly, producers that are not paying attention are making huge amounts of them. They flood the market, the prices drop back down. And typically after the event, you see it overcorrect. And that's where you can maybe jump back in and make a good deal. But these events kind of get a lot of attention, but they haven't gotten a lot of participation, right? So basically, don't expect this to make the markets explode, right? I mentioned earlier the Caracal, for example. You could see that here. The Caracal was clearly on this day a very popular ship. This is the first day of the last event, and it did increase by like 20 or 30%, but that's a big that's a big risk to take for not a big reward. There's better things to do out there, especially with the new event coming out. I do agree that the rewards are completely insulting. Absolutely. Okay. Let me wrap things up with 2 or 3 other items. So the boosters. It does look like we are going to see boosters drop in this event again, so that sucks if you're holding on to large stockpiles like I am from the last event still. This might mean that prices will intermittently drop down. If they do, then use this as an opportunity. Agency boosters from event are a fantastic buy-in because you can always make 20-30% very, very easily on them, so make sure you look at that. The spirit skins are going to drop from this event, just make sure that you know that they're out there. If you want to invest in some skins, you can, but they're not very popular overall, and you can probably make a very good margin, but have a little think about it before you're investing. And last but not least, I typically don't talk about RMT items here, but the multiple pilot training certificates are incredibly cheap right now at 1.192 million buy price. These are a steal. So whether you're looking to invest in them or whether you're just buying them for your own use, right now is a good price, a good time to do so, because the previous support was always around 1.2 million and it's just dropped below that. There's nothing that can really supplement or substitute this except for real cash, and so billion techno, that's right, billion. And so these are quite useful to quite a few people, so just make sure you're aware that these are trading really, really cheaply right now. Okay, boom, that's it for the Oz report today, and we're going back to the regular stream. See you guys next week.